start. I think we did this recently, but we'll do it again. You can either take the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the sides, or you can just place the soles of the feet down onto the mat as you lie down. And I'll lay down on my mat in a second so you guys can look at me. And just take a few deep breaths in and out to start. Really deep. Inhale big into your nose. Exhale big out of your nose. And just notice, take account of how you're showing up this morning. How your body's showing up this morning. And start to take in all of the noises around you. Noticing the atmosphere of the space that you're in. Noticing the temperature of the room. And noticing the sounds. And then bring your awareness gently back to your body, back to your breath. And then taking 5 more rounds of breath. Big inhales in and out of your nose. Expanding into the lungs and the rib cage as you inhale. And on that last exhale, bring your palms together. And I want you to take your palms and rub them back and forth as fast as you can. Just developing some friction in between the palms of your hands. And I want you to think about any area of your body that needs some extra energy, any area that feels stuck. As you did your little body scan, I told you to take in the awareness of your body and how your body feels right now. Keep rubbing those hands together. Build some heat in between your palms. And when we stop rubbing our hands together and our hands are super warm, we're going to place our hands on any area that was stuck or felt a little tight or snug. Some people said hips, maybe it's your neck or your shoulders. Just go ahead and place your hands there now. Take a few more breaths in and out. Gently release your hands, take them down to your sides. Bring that right leg in, bending your knee, bring that right leg in, give it a squeeze in towards your chest. And with that right hand on your right knee, I want you to just take that knee open out to the right and make a big circle all the way around, bringing it back in. We're going to warm up slowly this morning. Take that knee out to the right with the help of your right hand. Gently bring that leg all the way back around and in toward your chest. Give it a squeeze. One more time, open up. Warming up the hip. Back in. Let's take it around the opposite direction. Take that left hand onto your knee a little bit. Bring it over to the left. Just enough to get a little stretch on the back side of your hip and that little bit of that QL muscle, your glute. And then bring it around. Back into your chest. Over to the left. And around. On that last one, knee comes back in. Send that foot up straight up towards the ceiling. Flex through your foot so you're pulling those toes back towards your knee, opening up your hamstring, your calf, and then strong foot. Bring it all the way down towards the mat slowly. Keep that core engaged. It's a good time to tuck in those lower ribs, lower belly, and lift that left leg up. Bring the knee into the chest. Relax that right leg. Bringing that left knee into the chest. Same thing on this side. Left hand onto your left knee. Open it out to the left. Stretching into your inner thigh. Bringing that knee all the way around. Knee comes in towards your chest. Take it open. All the way around. Just getting some nice lubrication in your joint of your hip socket. One more time. Bring it around. Same thing with this knee. Let's take our right hand onto our left knee. Bring that knee across the body so that you're stretching into your lower back a little bit. So you're going to try to keep the upper body on the mat so you can feel that stretch in your lower back. Hip outside of your hip. Bring that knee gently back and open it in the opposite direction. Three times. Taking big circles, little circles, just getting into that joint. Whenever you're ready, bring that knee back to center. Same thing on this side. Lift that left leg up towards the ceiling. Make it nice and strong. Pull those toes back towards your knee, back towards your upper body. Press that heel up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, strong leg goes down towards the mat. Like you're plugging it in toward your core. So that's why you want to activate your core here. Exhale, release. Shake those legs a little bit side to side. We're just going to sit up into a seated forward fold. So slowly come up and slowly take those hands gently down towards the feet, ankles, shins. It's the first forward fold and we've been laying on our back, so just make it gentle here. You don't have to keep those legs active this time. Just kind of flop into that forward fold as if you're in a rag doll in your seat. Inhale, slowly come up. Take an exhale. You can sit at the top of your mat with your feet together and cross. I'm going to face the camera just so you can see me a little bit better. Sit up nice and tall here. Tilt your pelvis forward just a little bit so you're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do a little bit of breath work here to continue warming up our bodies. I want us to be super warm if we're going to do Bird of Paradise or some deep stretches into our hips today. I also just kind of want us to calm our minds and open up this heart space. So sitting up nice and tall, take your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, relax them down your back. Pull that core in so you're sitting up taller. And just take 3 deep inhales and exhales here. After that last exhale, release, relax, bring the arms out to the sides and take those hands, bring them right to your shoulders. This is one of my favorite kinds of breath. This is the Kundalini breath technique to open up the heart chakra. And we're going to do it to both sides. Sometimes people just do it to one side, but we're going to do it to both. So the hands stay on your shoulders just like this, and you try to keep those elbows up while relaxing the shoulders. And you're going to take an inhale. Inhale when you open up to the right side, and then exhale out of your mouth when you go to the left. So it goes a little bit fast, and we're going to do 10 to one side, and then we're going to switch sides. So it's going to look something like this. We'll do it together. Okay? All right. I know, you're like, man, what did I get myself into? It was Saturday morning. So let's start. Back to center. Left side, inhale, exhale. Back to center. Exhale, just release those hands down to the floor. Take a moment, close your eyes, big inhale. And exhale, let it go. Bring your hand to your chest, your hand to your stomach. Take another big inhale. Let it go. And relax. Inhale, come back to the top of your mat whenever you're ready, taking your time, gathering your bearings a little bit. Inhale, reach those arms up high towards the ceiling. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold it out again. Relax that head. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold it out. Take the hands down towards the mat, step those feet back, come into your high plank and stay here in your high plank. Pull those lower ribs in, feel like you're puffing up and rounding out your back a little bit, gaze slightly forward. Ground down into those finger pads, pull the core in. Continuing to build a little bit of heat in that core, let's stay here. You can always drop down onto a knee if you need to, or both knees, but continue to really exaggerate that rounding and that pulling in of your core. So if you're up high, stay up high, puff up that back, bring that core in, and take that right leg, lift it up. Take that right knee, bend that right knee, take it to your right elbow. And bring that leg back. And take the left side, lift that left leg up, bend the left knee, left elbow. Try to stay up if you can. Take that left leg back, place it down. If you're on your knees, it looks something like this. Lift the right foot out and up, right knee to right elbow. Puff that core, bring that lower belly in, back, and left side. Left leg lifts, left knee to left elbow, round out that back, and bring it back, and down. Last one, we're just gonna do 3 right foot lifts, right knee, right elbow. Take it back. Left side, left knee, left elbow. Bring it back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shake out those knees a little bit. Notice the warmth in your core now. Maybe even a little bit of warmth in your shoulders. Take a few big breaths in and out as you pedal out those feet. Come into a walking your dog a little bit. Maybe hold one side or the other. On your last exhale, take and gaze up towards your hand step or hop those feet forward towards your hands. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold in half. Ground down and out into those feet. Inhale, bring your upper body all the way back up. Reach your hands up. Exhale, hands to your sides. Good, now we're warmed up. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, take and fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Stay here, inhale, lift it up halfway, ground down into that right foot, and just step that left foot back. Easy step back. Keep that left ball of the foot up, or you're on the left ball of the foot, keep the left heel up, excuse me. Take your right foot towards the corner edge of your mat. Take both hands to the inside of that right foot. Taking this lizard pose or low lunge. Same thing here, that knee, that left knee can be up or down if you want to modify this morning. And you can take this pose as low as you want to. If you want to come down onto those forearms, go ahead. If you don't feel quite open enough for that yet, that's fine. But we're just pressing the hips, the waist down towards the mat, bending into that right knee. I like to gaze forward in these lunges and keep that core engaged. Pulling those lower ribs in, extending through the top of your head and almost lifting up your heart. Stay here for a few breaths. Kick that left heel back towards the wall behind you as you sink into your waist. Last exhale, ground down into that right foot. We're going to take a big step up with the left foot. Left foot lands on the outside of your left hand. Inhale, look up halfway again. Exhale, fold here in this mat width stance with your feet. Taking ground, that right hand down onto the mat. Lengthen through the top of your head, and we're going to lift that left hand up towards the ceiling, coming into a twist. And we're going to wrap that left hand behind the back to open up the shoulder just a little bit. Continue lengthening through the top of your head. And now as you exhale, you're keeping those legs straight if you can. As you exhale, kind of sink into a little bit of a bend into that right elbow so that you're sinking your head down towards the mat. We'll take this a step further on the next round. Just breathe here, opening up that left shoulder, keeping those legs active, sit bones up towards the ceiling. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, release that left hand back down onto the mat. Heel toe those feet back together. Inhale, reach all the way up. Let's come back to a neutral stand. We'll switch sides. Beautiful. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, stay in that halfway, ground down into the left foot, step the right foot back. Right ball of the foot stays on the mat, take that left foot over to the left. If you can, both palms of the hands go down onto the mat. If you want to go lower, forearms, go ahead. But you're grounding down into that left foot and you're shifting that right heel back towards the wall behind you. You're sinking your hips down towards the mat, pulling those lower ribs in and extending through the top of your head. Holding here, taking big breaths, letting those hips open. Few more breaths here. On that last exhale, you're grounding down into the left foot. We're going to take another big step up with the right so that both feet are mat width apart on your mat. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, left hand goes down onto the mat. Press that left hand into the mat. And we're inhale, lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling this time. You can open up that chest by taking the right hand behind your back, lengthening a little bit more through the top of your head. And then exhale, start to kind of let it fall. Let your head fall, come into more of a ragdoll. And the reason that we're doing this little ragdoll stretch here is because eventually we are going to bind around that left leg, or attempt to bind around that left leg. I'm not going to do it on this round. We're going to get a little bit more warm. Inhale. Take an exhale, release that right hand, bring it back down onto the mat. Look up halfway, heel toe those feet back together. Come all the way up to a strong stand. Exhale, hands to your sides. Shake it out a little bit, shake one leg at a time. Clear all of that out. Make sure that body's warm, check in with your core. And check in with your breath. Inhale, reach those arms up. We're gonna meet in a downward facing dog. However you wanna get there, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop those feet back. Maybe you come into an upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Shake those hips side to side. Grounding down into that left foot, lift that right leg up high. Round into your back, puff out your upper back, bring that knee in as close to your nose as you can, and we're gonna step that right foot forward towards your hands. Right foot steps forward, right hand lands on the outside of your right foot, left foot goes down onto the mat. We're gonna go right into a side angle pose here. Reach through those left fingertips. You're reaching those left fingertips all the way towards the wall in front of you, in front of your right foot. Opening up your chest. Exhale. Hand comes back around. Ground down into that right foot. Straighten through that right leg. If you can, take your two peace fingers, wrap them around your right big toe, and we're going to open up into a triangle. This triangle pose may feel a little bit deeper than your usual triangle pose. You're welcome to shorten your stance if you need to. And you also don't have to hold on to your big toe. You can let your hand hang above the mat. Ground down into that right foot. Connect with your core. Inhale, bring your upper body all the way up and take your arms out into a T, bending deep into your right knee. Beautiful. Exhale. This time the right hand's going to go to the inside of that right foot. I want you to reach that left hand up straight towards the ceiling and then wrap that left hand behind your back. Still opening up that chest, still grounding down into that right foot, still deep bend into the right knee. Feel that opening in your right hip. The more you press those feet away from each other down into the mat, the more activate the muscles in your hips and your legs. Exhale, lift that left hand back up towards the ceiling, bring it down, bring it onto the mat. And here I like to do a little flying pose if you want to, or you can try to. Take the foot out a little bit wider to the right side of the mat. Take both hands out wide. And you're gonna just lean forward into chaturanga arms and lift that right leg off of the mat. So you can stay here, or you can lift, or you can take that leg back. Chaturanga, and upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. I know that went a little bit fast. It's just a transition. Exhale, taking the weight into your right foot, lift that left leg up. Round out your back, bring that left knee in as close as you can towards your nose, and step the left foot forward towards your left hand. Going right into a side angle pose, take the right foot down onto the mat. Reach that right arm up. Side angle. Chest is opening. Reaching that right hand right to the wall or the space in front of your left foot. Grounding down into that left foot, straighten through that left leg. Take the two peace fingers, wrap them around your left big toe, opening up into a triangle pose. Grounding down into both feet, release that left big toe, use your core to bring you all the way up and bend into that left knee. Warrior two. On that last exhale, left hand goes to the inside of that left foot this time. Right arm reaches straight up towards the ceiling. Take and wrap that right arm behind the back, opening up your right shoulder. On your exhale, lift that right arm back up. Bring it down onto the mat. Roll over onto the right ball of the foot. Take that left foot over just slightly, and you want to try to get that left elbow underneath of your left thigh. So if you need to take your hands back or adjust, but it's chaturanga arms. So you go into those chaturanga arms and you lift that left leg up, maybe the right, and you fly. And back into chaturanga to upward facing dog and downward facing dog. We'll work more on that later if anybody wants to. Take a big inhale and an exhale and another inhale and exhale, let it go. Inhale, gaze forward towards your hands, bend deep into those knees, give a big hop up towards your hands. Look up halfway, exhale, fold. Heel toe those feet hip width apart. Grab onto opposite elbows, let your whole upper body hang. Take big breaths here. On that last exhale, hands drop gently down towards the mat. Inhale, look up halfway. Grounding down into your right foot, step that left foot back, easy step back. We're going to go into that same low lunge here to open up those hips again. And I want you to notice first, we're not going to stay here as long this time, but I want you to first notice if you feel a little bit more space. Feel like you can go a little bit deeper. And if you can, forearms can go onto the mat. Just finding that space, new depths. And now let's just lower that left knee down onto the mat and then just sink a little bit deeper. I like to walk my right foot forward and really shift the hips forward towards the front of the mat. And even if I'm on my forearms, I still like the chest lifted and gaze up. Just helps you keep that heart open and the spine long and kind of remind you to tuck in that core. Last exhale, straighten just slightly through that right leg so we can stretch out those hamstrings. Come onto your heel, take the toes up towards the ceiling. Leaning back forward into the right foot. Take the ball of that left foot onto the mat. Ground down into your right foot. We're going to take a big step up towards your hands. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold it out. Now you're going to have two opportunities to try Bird of Paradise here, because I like to go into Bird of Paradise in two different ways, actually probably in several different ways, but in a flow, I like to kind of go into it a couple different times. So ground down into that right hand first. We're going to open up our chest again, lift the left arm up. Take the left arm behind the back, and then just sink. Sink down towards that right leg. And if you can, bend into that right knee a little bit, take the right arm underneath of your right leg and try to find your hands. And this is the part where you should just stay here if you can't find your hands, or I'll show you how to modify. But you just kind of come up onto those right toes, shift that weight over to your left foot, and slowly start to come up onto that right tippy toe again. A little bit more, until you slowly bring that body upright to stand. And then you lift through that right foot, which this right hamstring is really tight, but you lift through that right foot. If we're just modifying here, I want you just to pick that right foot up by your foot. Come up to stand. Just try something like this with the knee out to the side. Let me show you a little bit better. That was just like this. And you can always take that left hand behind the back to kind of try to find that space. And then exhale, release. Beautiful. We are going to switch sides. Just wiggle into that space a little bit. It does really get into your psoas muscle, your inner thigh, and then deep into those hamstrings when you try bird of paradise. Folding forward, hands down towards the mat. Ground down into your left foot this time. Step the right foot back. And this will actually feel good on that right side to stretch it back out. But take the hands onto the mat. Same thing, if you want to go all the way down onto your forearms, go ahead. Taking lower onto that right knee whenever you're ready. Again, I like to wiggle my left toes forward, find a little extra space. Pull those lower ribs in, lengthen through the top of your head. Chest is open and lifts. Even if you're on your forearms, try to look forward or lift your head up. Sometimes we drop our head like this, like head droppers. And that's not opening up your chest, and actually sometimes puts a little bit more strain on your neck. So keep it upright. Last exhale here. And then just take and straighten through that left leg. Left toes up towards the ceiling, you're on your heel. And fold. Feel that hamstring stretch. Rock it back forward. Come onto the ball of that right foot. Press down into your left foot. Big step up and around to that right side. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So however you want to modify is fine. I'm going to face the camera for this one. So left hand goes onto the mat. Right arm reaches up. Open up your chest. Wrap that right arm behind your back. And kind of flop forward. Bending into that left knee. If you can, wrap that left arm underneath of your left hamstrings, bringing the hand behind the back to open up your chest, or bind your hands. Open up that chest. Staying here, coming on to the ball of the foot or your tippy toe. And you kind of have to just work with your weight here. Shift your weight over into your right foot. And then start to lift, lift, lift. And if you're not lifting up with binded hands, you can always grab a hold of your left heel. If the hands are binded, let's reach through those left toes. If you're not, hold on to your heel. Whew, lost my balance on that one. And whenever you're ready, just exhale, release it today. Release that side, shake out your legs. So whoever said hips, this is like deep hip opening. And we're gonna quickly stand back at the top of our mats, and we're gonna go through that flow that we did before with our side angle poses. And we're gonna actually try bird of paradise one more time in our side angle pose, but I'll show you also how to modify it. And I am sweating. So inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, fold forward. We're making it to downward facing dog however you want to. I'm going to do a sun salutation, but if you just want to step back, that's fine. Let that right leg lift up high. Take that right toes over to the left. Let's lift that right knee up towards the ceiling. Find some extra space after that first bird of paradise. Bring the leg back up straight. Exhale, big step to the inside of that right hand. Come onto the left foot. Lift your left hand, side angle pose. Grounding down into that right foot, straighten through that right leg, triangle. Use your core, bring that body up. Warrior two. From your warrior two, this time drop the right hand to the inside of your right foot. Left arm reaches straight up to open up the chest. Take that right hand or that left hand behind the back. And then try to ground down into your feet here. If you can, take the right hand underneath of those right hamstrings again, bind your hands. And hold here. So you're either gonna stay holding here, or we funky try to get into our bird of paradise. So you really have to ground down into that right foot first to step the left foot up. And then make the right leg light. Ground down into your left foot and lift it up. Again, my right hamstring is not my good hamstring. Exhale, I go back into that pose. So just slowly lower down. Right hand to the inside of that right foot. Step that left foot back. Bend again. Release that left hand, bring it over onto the mat. If you want to float and fly or try to float and fly, ground down into those hands, lift yourself up and back. Chaturanga. And up dog. And down dog. Beautiful. To switch sides, ground down into your right foot, lift that left leg up. Bend into that left knee, take the left toes over to the right. Round out your spine, bring that knee in close to your nose. Step that left foot forward towards your left hand. Take the whole right foot onto the mat. Come into your side angle. Inhale, triangle pose, straighten that left leg. Inhale up, warrior two, deep bend. And exhale, left hand to the inside of that left foot. And same thing here, wrapping that right arm behind your back. And it's a challenge just to ground down and out into your feet here. It's an added challenge to try to take that left hand underneath of the left thigh and just stay here, right? Because we're grounding down into those legs and it puts a lot of pressure on that left hamstring. You really have to press that left foot forward. So if you're just staying here, you're still working those muscles and building up to the strength to lift up. If you have this here, weight into the left foot to step that right foot in. And then you make that left leg light, pressing back into your right. And you lift it up. And once you're lifted here, you can stay here. And then you start to lift the leg. And exhale, release. Slowly, let's go right back down to where we were. Release the left hand. Step the right foot back. Windmill those hands over onto the mat. Shift onto the right ball of the foot. And if you want to fly here, you can try take into your chaturanga. If you're tanked like me, it might be hard. And step back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift those hips side to side once again. Our hips are pretty open here, but we're going to go into a pigeon pose to slow down this morning. So either lifting that right leg up high, or just bringing that knee forward toward your hands. Send that left leg back behind you. And so just like a lot of these deep hip poses, I like to go into them slowly. If you want to go full force right into lying down, you go for it. But I sit up nice and tall to start. Kind of shift the weight side to side. Notice how that pigeon pose is feeling. And whenever you're ready, come down onto your forearms or just make it a comfortable supported pigeon pose. Regain your breath. Find some softening here. And then gently bring those hands back onto the mat. Lift yourself up and walk those hands back towards your waist, even if you're on your fingertips or finger pads, and then open up that chest. Gaze up towards the ceiling, sink those hips forward. Take an exhale. Hands come onto the mat just to lift yourself up and back into that downward facing dog. If you need another leg lift on that right side, go ahead. And switch sides, press into your right foot, lift the left leg up. Bend that left knee, find some space. Whenever you're ready, set up for your pigeon pose on your left side. Same thing, find some space, wiggle those hips a little bit. Just check in and notice how this pose feels. And whenever you're ready, coming onto your forearms. Relaxing into your pigeon pose. Last exhale, walk those hands back, lift yourself up, Come onto your finger pads, really take those hands back towards your hips. Find room to open and press your chest open as you gaze up towards the ceiling. And exhale, hands come back onto the mat. Lift yourself up and back to your downward facing dog. If you need another leg lift on that left side, go ahead. And bring those legs through to sit down whenever you're ready. Taking the soles of the feet together here. Knees out to your sides. And pinky toes stay together, big toes go apart. And we're just going to try some hip exercises here with this pose. We're going to fold forward eventually, but we're not folding forward yet. Just sit up nice and tall out of your pelvis and feel like you're shifting that pelvis slightly forward, almost as you're leaning forward a little bit. This finds more space in your lower back. And I want you to take your right hand onto your right knee and press that right knee down towards the mat. Just until you can. You're not forcibly stretching here. You're just giving yourself a little bit of assistance. Stretching into that right leg. The stretch usually feels pretty good. Just press that space, press it away. And then as you're here, when you remove your hand, I want you to try to keep that left or that right knee down towards the mat. That activates these muscles that we're stretching. So you're pressing that right knee down towards the mat and then try to hold it there as you lift your hand. You'll notice that squeezing in of those muscles. You're using them. And then release and relax. Go over to your other side. Press that left knee away. Find that space. And then same thing here. When you release that left hand, try to keep that knee down towards the mat. And come back. One more time on your right side. You can get a little bit deeper. Press it away. Find the space. Find that space in your hip and try to keep that knee there as you lift your right arm up. Might shake a little bit. And release. One more time on that left side. Press the left knee away. And release that hand. Use those muscles. Good. And let's fold forward from here. Just a relaxing forward fold. Inhale, come up slowly. Exhale, gently bring those knees back together. And we're going to take ourselves down onto our mats. Just relaxing back to where we started. And as always, if there's anything else your body feels as if it needs this morning, you can go ahead and do that now. Maybe you need a little shake side to side. We did a lot of hip work this morning, so your hips might need that gentle slow down or cool down. But whenever you're ready, just relax those legs. Relax those arms. Finding yourself in your Shavasana. Allowing yourself to take the breath back to a relaxed, natural breath. Reflecting back quickly to how you felt at the beginning of class this morning. What areas of your body felt snug or tight? And just with that gentle reflection, bring yourself back to the present, the moment right now. How do you feel? Without judging. You don't have to feel back to 100%. But maybe it's just a little bit better. Maybe your body feels good, getting some warmth, some movement, some blood flow this morning. And now just releasing those thoughts. Just allow yourself to be. And gently reaching those hands over your head. Doing a nice big good morning stretch into those fingertips. Your wrist roll a few times and gently bring those knees in. And rock it side to side. And gently roll over to your right. Making your way up to a seated position whenever you're ready. Bring your hands together. Take a moment, take a second of gratitude. The light in me honors the light in you, as the light in you honors the light in me. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining in this morning.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful.
Good. Have a great, it was hard. I knew you would say that, Taylor.
Bird of paradise, not so much.
Yeah. My right hamstring wasn't having it either. That's for sure.
I don't know
Well, have a